Say the Pledge of Allegiance with me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, the Bedford Freemasons are going to be laying a wreath. I would like to introduce Rodney Fish, one of our Lawrence County Commissioners.
On behalf of Lawrence County Commissioners, the elected officials, employees of Lawrence County, I just want to welcome you here. The purpose of this is to celebrate part of our history and our heritage by gathering here on the 100th anniversary of our grand old lady, Miss Indiana. She stands on these grounds as a beacon to honor the past, to inspire the future, and give thanks for the blessings our community enjoys today. She stands as a symbol of the courage and the fortitude of those who envisioned what Lawrence County could be even before it was fully formed. Those who labored to see her carved and placed here had a different perspective of what it meant to honor the settlers and builders of this community. But they showed their faithfulness that the future held hope by commissioning this remarkable effort. And now I'm pleased to introduce Pastor Tim Thompson for our invocation.
Will you pray with me? Heavenly Father, what an honor to join with so many amazing men and women on this beautiful and frigid occasion. Today, as we stand here, aware that in many places it would be unsafe to do so, we are thankful for your hand of protection over our community. We're thankful for your peace and your presence. And in the shadow of this great lady, we are thankful today for those who have come before us, invested their life and resources in making this community a safe and peaceful place to call home. Those who pioneered here from comfortable places to make a new life here in the wilderness, their influence and investment caused this town to flourish and grow. We're thankful for that. We're thankful for the men and women who gave their lives to keep it safe from dangers here at home and from far away. Today, as we celebrate the 100th birthday of this lovely and noble woman gracing our town center, we give thanks for what she represents. Men and women of character and purpose who understand the value of community and who did not shrink back from the responsibility to protect it. Proverbs tells us that through the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, and we are the beneficiaries of their blessing. May we who stand here today, whether ordinary citizens, business leaders, or government servants, continue to love our city in both word and deed and honor you in doing so. May our love and our practice honor those who have come before us and bless those who will come after us. I pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
To make the presentation of the distinguished guest, I will introduce Lawrence County Councilwoman Janie Craig Chenault.
I have the pleasure today of introducing Mr. Larry Flynn and his wife, Mrs. Clydine Guthrie Flynn. Larry is the 5th great-grandson of Jacob Flynn, and Clydine is the 5th great-granddaughter of John Guthrie. Jacob Flynn and John Guthrie traveled with their families from Lee County, Virginia, and settled in Lawrence County in modern-day Leesville on November 7, 1811. On March 10, 1815, John Guthrie, Jacob Flynn, and Josiah Flynn, Jacob's son, were clearing land when they were attacked by several braves from the Potawatomi Indian tribe. John Guthrie was shot but was pulled to safety by his wife Elizabeth. Jacob Flynn was taken prisoner but later escaped his captors and returned to Leesville, where he remained until his death on October 2, 1846. Josiah Flynn, Jacob Flynn's son, was killed by the Indians in what is now referred to as the Leesville Massacre. I want to thank you both for being here this evening as representatives of the pioneers who settled Lawrence County.
I'm now pleased to recognize the mayor of the city of Bedford, Mayor Sam Craig.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have the pleasure of introducing World War II veteran James Lee Hutchison. Mr. Hutchison was born in 1925, just 2 years after Miss Indiana was erected on this site. Mr. Hutchison was drafted in 1943 on his 18th birthday. He volunteered to become an air cadet and served as a radio operator and gunner on a lead crew of the B-17 Flying Fortress with the 490th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force in England. Lee flew missions deep into enemy territory over Nazi Germany. Between 1944 and 1945, he completed 20 missions before his 20th birthday. After returning home from World War II, Mr. Hutchison served his community as an elementary teacher, a principal, and assistant superintendent. Mr. Hutchison, we're honored to have you here representing all veterans of Lawrence County. Please stand to be recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lee Hutchison.
At this time, I would like to present Sam Craig again. The Honorable Judge Nathan Nikirk, who presides over the Lawrence Circuit Court.
So I've cut this down to a half hour from an hour. I know it's a little chilly. The committee talked me into that, so we'll keep it brief. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here today because of the cold weather. I know you're all frozen to the core. I'll make this very short. First, let me say I'm honored to present the brief history of the Miss Indiana statue on behalf of the committee. The committee is to my left, and I want to thank all of them personally. We have put in a lot of time as a group, and I appreciate every one of you and everything that you've added. It makes me also very happy as a former history teacher to see so many people here on such a cold day. 100 years ago today, at about this time in the afternoon, this beautiful statue was hoisted into place atop the Lawrence County Soldiers, Sailors, and Pioneer Monument. The Miss Indiana statue was a gift to Lawrence County by Moses Fell Dunn. Mr. Dunn died on October the 21st, 1915, and bequeathed $10,000, or the equivalent of $175,000 today, for the carving and placement of the Miss Indiana statue. Famous local stone carver Harry Easton was responsible for sculpting the face of Miss Indiana. Mr. Easton modeled the face after Mamie Hubbard Smith, who was a secretary at the Imperial Stone Company that employed Mr. Easton. Miss Indiana is carved from Indiana limestone quarried from Oolitic. She weighs 12 tons and stands 32 feet above the ground. If you look at the base of the statue, you will notice 4 carved panels that depict the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, World War I, and an Indiana pioneer scene. A lesser-known fact about the statue is that there is a secret time capsule that was placed in a small lockbox inside the base of the monument on November the 22nd, 1923. The time capsule contains newspaper clippings, a copy of Moses Fell Dunn's last will and testament, a list of Lawrence County soldiers and sailors, and photos of the Monon train depot. If you look closely at the statue, you will notice that Miss Indiana wears a wreath crown of bay laurel leaves symbolizing victory, and she is holding a palm leaf symbolizing peace. Miss Indiana also stands between a sheaf of wheat and an anvil. The wheat symbolizes prosperity, and the anvil symbolizes strength. I think the symbolic meaning of this statue perfectly captures the true nature of the citizens of Lawrence County now, just as it did 100 years ago. I'm going to close with a quote from Judge Ira Batman. Judge Batman was a Lawrence County native and personal friend of Mr. Dunn. Judge Batman spoke and closed his speech at the original dedication ceremony 100 years ago with the following words: "May this statute stand during the coming years as a reminder of the patient service and heroic sacrifice for those whose in honor it was erected, and keep green the memory of the illustrious donor, Moses Fell Dunn." Thank you all very much. God bless.
As was done in the original ceremony, we are now going to have the Bedford North Lawrence High School Choir and the Mitchell High School Choir sing for us 2 numbers that were sung at the original ceremony, "How Firm a Foundation" and "America." So please join me in welcoming the Bedford and Mitchell choirs. from Bedford North Lawrence. Please join me again in thanking these students for coming out and bearing this cold weather and singing as well as you did. Okay. On behalf of the Miss Indiana Celebration Committee and Bedford Revitalization, I want to thank the B&L Elemental Choirs, the Bedford Freemasons, and the American Legion. I also want to extend a special thank you to Lee Hutchinson and Mr. and Mrs. Flynn for joining us today and representing local veterans and the pioneers who settled in Lawrence County. Our shared history binds us together, and events like this help preserve beautiful monuments like Miss Indiana for future generations. Please join us inside the courthouse where the heat is working, in the rotunda for a student art show that you won't want to miss, as well as some refreshments. Thank you all again for coming out on this very, very cold day, but we certainly appreciate it, and maybe in 100 years you can come back for the 200th celebration. Thank you all for coming.